funny. Okay. I think that is hilarious. I think that's absolutely hilarious. I think it's absolutely hilarious that
You think it's hilarious that I was giving Jimmy the same shit that you were giving me?
Yeah.
Sit. Good.
Yeah, no joke. And I'm thinking, let's see. I want to share this real quick. I have to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're broadcasting live tonight, live once again in the studio. And it's Rogan Radio.
Yeah. To my left, we got William Charles Rogan, and we got Jimmy Wesneski to my right.
We do have Jimmy's head in there somewhere. Jimmy's going to have to scoot in a little bit closer.
Man, I am here. I am good. No one wants to see my ugly mug anyway.
A little closer to me
right.
Because I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are going to do this live tonight. It's going to be a live broadcast as we do. We're going to learn how to do this. We're trying to do this. So we're going to see exactly what happens. This week, though, we're going to have some great things to talk about. One, did you hear about, now that the X-Files are on, the X-Files are on TV again. Was that me?
Yep.
Yeah, that was you.
That was me.
That was me. I'm
All
good.
right.
I'm good. I'm
And
good.
Yell at him.
And by the way, if you missed it, at the very beginning of this, very beginning of the second episode last week, we had Todd. Because we're trying to figure out how to do this entire, what's the word I'm looking for? We're trying to do this whole video thing live, right? Because we have these different video cameras. You can't see it now, but we're recording for YouTube now. We're recording for the podcast, the audio aspect of it, and we also have this live deal on Facebook. Yeah. So last week on the second episode, and one thing that we do know is this: the episodes only last for 30 minutes before they automatically shut down. So when it shuts down, don't worry about it. Don't fret.
Are we sure about that? Because it seems like when we got a phone call, that's when it shut off.
Well, it just so happened. I think it was
right around that 30 minute mark.
30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so when it goes to about 30 minutes, you say, or look at your watch. From now, 30 minutes is going to shut off, but we'll come back after the break.
Correct.
We'll call that the break. 30
Correct.
minutes. That's when we go to break.
See, I lost my train of thought. See, but like I said, this is to the point where it's getting confusing, and it's going to be a building process for us. And we have all these different things going on, and at the same time, we have so many things to talk about. This week, what we're going to talk about, like I said, getting back to the X-Files. The X-Files, we all love the X-Files. We love Mulder, we love Scully, and it just so happens that the CIA has declassified documents concerning UFO investigations. They've pretty much said there was such a thing, if not there is such a thing, as a real X-Files sort of deal.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Was there really any question in your mind that there wasn't?
There's absolutely, listen, let me tell you something.
Because we're kind of on the same page, and maybe Jimmy is too.
What?
You know what? We are not the only people in the universe. If you look, that's why I always tell my wife, I said, if you look out there in the stars, right? If you lay on your back and you're in the backyard and you're looking up at all the stars, and they're all twinkling, and if you can actually say to yourself, "This is it," then you are wrong, buddy.
You know,
this
I
cannot
don't
be
know.
it. This little blue and green planet, Jimmy, cannot.
I don't know. I go back and
be
forth between that because I sit there and think, as a Christian, you think that God only made us, but then you sit there and think, well, why couldn't he make another Earth out there? There's so much wasted space. Yeah, and then you go on to think, well, what if the space, heavens and the Earth, which heavens would be space, which means when you die, it's heaven out in space. There's all the previous people out in space. Just kind of
they're all the stars
having parties.
Maybe like when you get
maybe they're all out there having parties.
Maybe when you get one of those stars, like when you hear those like near Christmas. It's near Christmas time. What better present than to own a star and name it after somebody?
I'd like to name one after you. I would like to call you Chucky
Romulus. But
Chucky Romulus.
One of the cool things about it is that the X-Files is now legit.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, by the way, I told you the other night, I don't think I've ever seen a complete full episode of the X-Files.
That's crazy.
I know. But today, when I was sitting there eating my little breakfast this morning, and I started the X-Files Season 1, Episode 1.
Listen, you're going to really like, let me tell you something. The first couple of years, the first 4 or 5 years on the X-Files, you're going to love it the best because the stories that you don't see them coming, they're just not...
they're really good the first few years.
Oh, they're fantastic. Let me tell you something. They're fantastic. Now, the new ones I've been watching, kind of wild. Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen them yet, and I don't want to give anything away, but they're absolutely kind of wild. However, it's very interesting to the point now where the CIA has actually said there is an X-Files. So I'm thinking, right off the bat, I'm thinking about doing my own thing called the X-Files. The CIA has their X-Files about like UFOs and all that stuff, right? And we're going to talk about that tonight because that's pretty serious. Like you said, a lot of people don't believe that. There's this controversy with religion and all that. If you're a Christian person, can you believe in aliens?
Yeah. And they would say no.
Believe it or not, I have been abducted by aliens.
Yeah. And did they probe you?
Well, he wanted them to anally probe him, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I was down in San
he was
Antonio.
probably like, yes.
No.
I was down in San Antonio on the Canal Walk.
Yeah.
And these hot chicks came up and they said, "Hey, senor, would you like to?" And I was like, "Yes." And here's $10, and I was abducted by a bunch of aliens, and I pretty much enjoyed it. And I would like to go back. I don't see why everybody's so upset about being abducted by aliens.
There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of crazy things. Hey, can we give a quick shout out to Bob and Franny?
Bob and Franny.
And Francis Mick from Lumberport, West Virginia. Give it a big shout out.
Hey.
Can we put our hands together real quick like this? Yes.
That's fantastic.
Okay, thank you very much.
However, I think we need to come up with, in the spirit of the X-Files and of Scully and Mulder, I think I'm going to come up with a... you remember that skit that Sherry and I did with 24? It was with 24.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's when you went to the house, you had the gun,
Right,
went
I
out
was
to
like
the
Jack,
garage.
I was like Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
That's
about
actually pretty funny.
I'm thinking about coming up with a skit called the X-Files, EX-Files.
EX-Files.
You see what I mean? Not the X-Files, EX-Files.
Okay.
Like my X-Files.
Oh.
You see what I mean?
EX-Files.
And I'm going to come and I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to talk about all the times I had to go home and cry in my own tears.
Are you still crying?
Hey, whatever.
Didn't work out too bad for you, did it?
No,
really?
it seems to be working out pretty well, I think.
I think so too.
But the Huffington Post, they wrote a big article, and they went and they talked about some of these people that have actually had issues with aliens and have seen it. Now, I swear to goodness, and you're going to think I'm nuts, and I want to get people on here. Now, listen, if you're watching this live on YouTube, this is what I want to know. Do you, A, believe in aliens, and I'm talking about from outer space?
Yeah. Well, I guess there's
And
Mexicans.
two, have you ever seen a UFO? Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's, that just means you saw something that you could not identify. That's the whole point of a UFO. Unidentified flying object. Doesn't necessarily mean it could have been a quad flying over. But, I saw something the other night.
Throwing a piece of his duty across the sky, and you didn't know what it was.
That's what we do. We throw duty.
Now, listen, Jimmy and Todd are going to be watching some of the comments as we talk about this. But listen, that's what I want to know. Do you believe in UFOs? And two, have you ever seen a UFO? Now, I'm telling you what, every morning I go outside and I look for satellites, and every now and then you can see the International Space Station flying through. We saw that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I did. A couple months ago.
No, I was out there the other night.
What'd you see, man? Did you see it?
Well, it was actually the other morning. It was about 4:30, something like that. So I looked and saw, and I'm not shitting you.
Why do you get up so early?
Because I'm just like that. I'm a bird.
Dude.
I'm out there.
4:30, and that's when I get up to pee, and then I go right back to bed.
Well, I'm just like that. I don't know. I have to get up and I have to make, the bed and stuff like that. But anyway, I look up and I see this thing flying, just crazy fast across the sky. Just going crazy fast. And it was a big, bright light. Okay, well, I'm saying, okay, well, it's obviously like a jet or something like
Did
that.
you stub your toe or anything?
I was a little, I was also, obviously, how many times have you bent over to tie your shoes and you saw stars because we're old people now? But anyway, so I'm thinking, you know what, geez, a wheeze, dude. And the first thing I always do when I see something like that, I look for navigation lights. You can see like the blinking lights, something like that. So I'm thinking, hey, man, look, I'm not seeing any blinking lights on that thing. And when I say there's no blinking lights, I'm not like, bleeping out a cuss word. I mean, there's no blinking lights on this thing.
There's no lights on that thing.
So this thing is just firing fast ass across the sky. And I'm thinking, what in the world? So then I get on the computer. I was like, okay, well, let me see if the International Space Station or the Space Shuttle are supposed to be coming over now, about this time. No, they were not. So it was moving too fast, and and listen, I'm not talking, it wasn't like a little star thing, man.
No.
I'm talking, this thing was big, and it was bright, like it was going to the sun, so it was getting some reflection. It was flying across the sky.
How fast was it going?
It was flying ass fast, man, is all I can tell you.
flying ass fast.
What are we getting? Are we getting anything on the Facebook yet of anybody talking about anybody seen a UFO? That's what I want to know right now. Right now.
Donnie Ever said he said he hasn't seen. However, who am I to think that there aren't other life forms in the universe So I guess, yes, I believe in aliens if that is the term that we're using. Donnie Everett said that. You know, so listen, you got to be open-minded, I guess. When you live in a big, giant universe like this, it's hard to be closed-minded because it's awful damn big.
I did find a UFO sighting. It was down in...
Becky said no. What the hell's
Becky
wrong
who?
with you? But Becky Wade.
Becky Wade does not believe in UFOs.
Wait till I see her in the
She's
morning.
never seen one.
Nah, she said no. She,
Kim Matheny,
no, I have
either,
not, but I do believe.
Oh,
that,
okay.
no, that was
Okay.
that was Kim Matheny.
Yeah,
Kim
said that.
Matheny, so she actually believes that then, so that's
Yeah,
good.
she does.
Well, good, because you know what, with the way that the Lumberport is, you never know what we're going to be flying over because we have quads and everything else, and occasionally Todd gets on trampolines, and a lot of people mistake that for the Goodyear blimp, but in actuality, it's just Todd. It's not a UFO.
I'm slim.
Come on, we
No,
haven't even found Goatman yet, and we're talking about
That's something else we
UFOs.
need to get into also. We need to get into the Goat Man thing. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But check this out. Now, this is a video I saw the other day, and we're just going to watch it like a second of it. This is coming from Secure Team 10 on the YouTube. And this is all tying together because up to this point, everybody that talked about UFOs, it kind of makes you a weirdo.
Yeah, well,
It kinda makes you a
there's
weirdo.
3 weirdos right here.
Yeah.
That has
Now,
nothing
look,
to
see,
do
this
with
is about
UFOs.
what I saw. Now, you look at that. There's no navigation lights, and they're big, bright lights in the sky.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw right there.
You know what?
Now, you tell me what that is. Unless that's Jimmy in a helicopter in Die Hard when they're flying through L.A., which is a great scene, by the way.
I don't know. What
Just
that
like Saigon.
is. You know. I don't know.
You tell me what that is. But anyway, check
It's
it out for yourself. It's Secure Team 10. It's a mass UFO sighting over L.A. is the actual name of it. But listen, it's. Are you yawning?
No. I'm in the. Oh, I don't want to talk about aliens. I want to talk about my birthday week. My wife's birthday is Wednesday, by the way.
It's Vicky Beck.
And she will be
Happy
39
birthday.
this year. And you
She's
know what?
over
She
39.
has
Come
a.
on, don't lie to us. How old is she for real?
She's 51 this
Okay,
year.
that's fantastic.
And
Congratulations and happy birthday, Vicky.
51.
she's 57 this year. But she
57.
had. See, her thing is
When
she
I
does.
hug her, it feels like she's 25.
She does. I know. You should see.
Well,
it.
that's because you might not be hugging her. You might be hugging Mariah, and they look just alike.
Well, you know.
She thinks for some reason that she doesn't have a birthday. She's got a birthday month or a birthday week.
I'm not really sure I understand.
Well, she wants to celebrate her birthday every day in the month of February. That's what she wants to do.
Well, you know what? You need to remember this in June and do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
See, what comes around goes around.
Yeah.
Want a big thanks to Steve Ice at KDS Primitive Signs and More. Right above me, that's the Rogan Radio T-shirt. Go check him out on Facebook if you'd like some of that. I like to talk to Steve about getting some stickers and some hoodies. I'd like to have some hoodies.
Some hoodies?
This is hoodie season.
Excuse me. Some bumper stickers.
Some bumper
So we can
stickers.
look like hoodlums.
Yeah, I want to look like a.
See, I'm telling you, I'm still watching this video, and that's what I saw, man. And you think I'm crazy. You think I'm full of crap. But listen, I am not. I believe in that stuff, and I've seen it with my own daggone eyes.
She's gonna be. My wife's gonna be 44. My wife.
Look, he didn't even know how old.
No, I knew.
She said she's going to be 44.
No. What I'm saying is most women don't give their age out like that. And she just bang right there on Facebook, 44. She looks pretty good for 44, don't you think? Yeah.
Better than
Yeah.
you.
I'm 40. I'll be 46 in June. Good God.
God, you're
Old. I know, man. I'm a child of the 70s.
When I had my Eagle Talon, this is fantastic, and I was 20. How old was I? It was in 90,
I'll tell
90, 95.
you were
No, it was in 97 because I bought a 97 Eagle Talon. So I was 27.
27
And I was living in Clarksburg at the time over on Simpson Avenue.
we got to listen. That's a whole podcast.
Oh, man, let me tell you
the
something.
apartment you lived at on
That
Simpson
apartment
Avenue.
with the mushrooms growing out of the carpet. Fantastic apartment. One bedroom apartment. Didn't have a lot of money, Sherry and I. And it was so bad, in fact, that in the wintertime, it was like it was real humid in there and stuff like that. And we would have mushrooms growing out of the carpet.
Yeah.
And that's no lie. She came out one day and said, "Chuck, you need to come see this." I'm like, "Well, see what?" The mushrooms growing out of the carpet.
Now, was this in a bathroom or a bedroom?
In the bathroom, yeah.
What does
This-
that have to say about her, Sherry's
Now listen, man. This is a one-bedroom.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
No. This was a one. This is when we didn't have any money at all. The one bedroom. This would have been the living room and the kitchen. The room we're in right now. I mean, it was a garage apartment.
It's pretty small.
It was very small. But anyway, so I have this '97 Talon. I'm driving up because I think I'm a stud. Driving up Main Street in Clarksburg, right by the Go Mart, Chestnut Street and Go Mart. Okay. So I'm driving up in this brand new Eagle Talon, thinking chuck something cool, right? And then somehow I still think that when I'm listening to K-Love driving down the road now and I'm singing my God songs. But I get up in front of Go Mart and these chicks, these hot chicks, come up beside me and they say, "Hey, you have a nice." This is no shit when I'm telling you this. She goes, "You have a nice car." I said, "Hey, thanks."
Yeah.
It's like, "Hey, thanks. And she goes, "Hey, how old are you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm 27."
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah, and she went, "God, you're old."
Yeah, meanwhile, you already 27 is not old.
I'm like, "Look, I'm not listening to Neil Diamond or anything in here. I mean, come on."
wrong with Neil
Look,
Diamond?
Vic said that me or you, Chuck, neither one of us said yes when Todd asked if she looked good. See, I'll tell her when Todd's not around.
Well, see, there's this
want him to get
constant
jealous.
love affair, this public display of affection, and at points I just try to block it out of my head.
Don't block it out.
Vicky knows the truth.
Randy Scott's saying that our audio and video isn't even close, but I'm thinking it may be his system.
You mean it's out of sync?
Randall.
You mean?
I don't
guess.
know. Vicky, tell us. Is that
You know
a-
what? That's what I mean. This is all like one of those things to where it's just. Who knows? And Todd's shitting his pants and everything.
That
else.
was not me, bro.
That was Todd.
You know,
No, it wasn't. Watch the video. You can see Chuck. You can see Jimmy laughing like this.
well, that's
Oh,
You
great.
know
yeah.
what? It's actually hot in here for once.
It is now because you
It's
feel
usually
the
freezing
I
in here.
know. I got this jacket. I'm gonna take it off. Take
Yeah.
it off right now.
It actually is because it got to
look,
be
they're
what,
good.
like
Slippery
68
kitten.
degrees or something like that today.
Hey, yeah,
Because
I had the windows open.
Miss
buddy.
Slippery Kitten.
Slippery Kitten. Oh my
Remember how
goodness!
to
Do you
miss
remember
you
Slippery
guys.
Kitten?
Wait a minute, you're talking about Slippery Kitten
Out
off the
in
Xbox?
Yeah, off the Xbox.
Out on the West Coast.
Out in
Oregon.
Idaho. Oregon, that's right.
Oregon.
Look,
Holy crap, I haven't heard that name for a long time.
I wonder if Slippery Kitten knows that we've graduated to the PlayStation 4.
I don't know.
You know, Slippery Kitten, you know what that's code for, right?
Well, we don't have to say that here, of course.
No, I don't know. I mean,
It's just very innocent. Slippery
so
Kitten.
anyway, Slippery Kitten, hey, nice to have you on the show. We haven't, we need to call her up. We haven't talked to her since we used to play on the Xbox and stuff like that. Now, I
Yeah.
tell you what, let's talk about the, we need to figure out. But first of all, we're going to take a quick break. But before we do that, and I meant to start the show out with this, had some terrible news today, and we're going to end it on this particular segment on this because it is kind of serious, and it's Jay Carpenter.
I know,
Oh,
that's that's sad news right there.
Yeah,
Sad
Jay
news.
Carpenter. You know, he was from the area.
Played
And-
ball with him a few times.
Yeah, you know, Lumberport, Shinston. You know, I mean, we're a big happy family here. Everybody knows everybody, and Jay, which I haven't really talked to Jay for. I mean,
Many,
it's been forever, and I don't talk. You know, I barely talk to you guys, and you know, we do this show together. But Jay, you know, he basically, I don't know how to say it in a nice way, because you can't.
Yeah, he passed away. Jay passed away
Jay passed
yesterday,
away.
I
The big
think.
C word.
Yesterday
We
or
don't like the
last
C
night or
word.
something like that?
Yeah.
We don't like the C word.
No, my wife was telling me that I guess they found some cancer in his lip, I guess. That's where it originated from. And then, you know, I don't know the story behind it. I really don't want to.
But, you know, to
Sad.
Missy and the Moranos and, of course, the Carpenters.
Yeah, our condolences.
Yeah, definitely, because it was just like when I woke up and saw that, I think Pasco was the first one to write something about it that I saw, and I was like, oh, my God, dude, no way.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, he had to be 45, 46. He was my age.
Yeah, I think he graduated with you, right? 89?
And you know what? That is the scary part about it. And we'll just take a quick second here, and we'll take this break, because I did see some promising news, and maybe we can get Elizabeth. Elizabeth from Tupelo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not too below right down there right now. It's probably pretty nice, actually.
It is.
She's going to be an oncologist, and she had the stem cell talk that we had there. Oh, I don't know. It's been a couple weeks ago now. But they have a protein now. And last year they came up with where they found that they could take a protein out of, believe it or not, malaria. And it would actually attack and kill cancer instantaneously. Okay? Well, now they have a new one. It's called some kind of protein called Trail, and it also does the same thing. Kills it automatically. And, you know, so I'm reading this story, and this was just a couple days ago that I saw this, and I'm thinking through the last couple of years, think about it. I mean, you have my Uncle Tom and my dad with prostate cancer. Then you have Kenny Kerr, at the post office. He died of esophageal cancer.
54.
54 years old. I can't. When we went to work that day and heard that.
Listen, the guy never drank. He never smoked. He never did nothing. Big athlete in high school,
Robbie-
college, I think, even. And
Robbie Faber, he's being a bitch to colon cancer. Chrissy, daughter, she's doing the same. I mean, it seems like it's scary to think that it's everywhere, and it's for whatever reason. Cancer affects us all, one way or another, and it seems like
everybody knows somebody.
And it seems to me it's kind of scary because now it's where it used to be when in the 70s and 80s. Now it's to the 30s and up, and I'm not really sure why. But I'd like to get Elizabeth on here if you guys don't mind, and maybe we can talk about this new protein, the trail thing, and see, because this is very promising. It's going to put chemotherapy, it's going to put radiation, it's going to do away with all that stuff. They're just going to shoot you full of this shit, and it's gone. Boom! Instantaneous.
what's that going to
Do
do
you
to
know
the
how
medical
hard that's
field?
going to be to get through that? Yeah, I think it's a big money-making scheme.
Yeah, that's what I'm
man.
saying. You know, they
sure
already
they
had a
can
cure
find
for
something.
cancer, but there's just too much money in it.
Well, now listen, and you know what? We're this is probably the wrong time to talk about it, considering we're talking about Jay and him passing away and everything. But the reality of it is, and a lot of people will tell you, that there's a lot of business. There's a big business. There's a big business in being sick. I mean, you go to a car mechanic or a dentist per se. You go in for a teeth cleaning and you come out with braces, a couple fillings, and you new enamel or gums receding, whatever the hell's wrong with you. You come around with and it's the same way with if you get better, you don't need to come back.
No, you're right. And they want you to come back.
And then on top of that, you have all this healthcare junk, which is really starting to piss me off now because I got it yesterday with all these 1095s. You guys getting a 1095?
Yep,
Yeah, I
everybody
heard
gets a 1095. And you can't fill your taxes out until you get that. So if anybody's already got on TurboTax, and if you can't, once you get to that point on
Everybody
TurboTax,
gets a 1095.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And if you don't,
Yeah.
because I also
That's
heard
stupid.
if you don't have health insurance and you get taxed for not having health insurance, it's like $600 or something like that.
well, we'll call it a penalty.
Right. Well, yeah, a penalty. Right. And then next year, because so many people are just going ahead and paying the penalty for for not carrying the health care, thinking it's a hell of a lot cheaper because I think most of your plans are like $300 or $400 a month.
If not
So-
more. So
That's what I mean.
if they're getting penalized for $600 and some dollars,
Well,
a
they're going to
person-
jack up the penalties next year.
Of course they are.
So
Is this part of the Affordable Care Act?
Yeah, it's
Makes it
affordable.
affordable?
Yeah, it's affordable.
yeah, if I could afford it, I would already have it.
Yeah.
But
It's a
hey,
it's a
listen,
damn
look at it this way: you're going to make the insurance companies rich, and at the same time, cell phone companies, new car. You're not going to be able to buy new cars and all your TV dinners or whatever else you like to spend money on.
You've never had a TV dinner.
You know what? I haven't, and I'd like to have one.
You've never had a TV dinner?
Oh no, I would
Jimmy,
love-
he's never had a TV dinner.
I wouldn't
Look,
want-
he's never had macaroni and cheese.
No, I'll never have that.
He doesn't eat deviled eggs, potato
No, hell
salad,
no, hell
baked
no,
beans.
hell no.
He doesn't eat any of that picnic food. What the hell's wrong with that guy? You know what?
But yet he's still unhealthy.
What are you talking about, unhealthy? I'm a stud, boy.
yeah, he's a
Whatever.
stud. Yeah, right.
Let me tell you
yeah.
something. You don't get to see me sick just because I've had a little melanoma, big deal. Occasionally I get diarrhea, whatever. That's from drinking Lumberport
Well,
water.
I'm
That
just
makes me
saying,
tough.
Chuck, that you are missing out on some of life's small little pleasures like macaroni salad or
let me tell you
deviled
something.
eggs.
When we're at work and stuff like this, Todd talks about, hey, we had some soup, beans, and ham hock or whatever you hobos eat. Whatever all that
does
train
he,
food
yeah,
is.
Becky
you know.
said, "What does he eat?" Yeah, you wouldn't believe the shit. What'd you have for breakfast? Tell me. You had ribs.
I had
You had
ribs, and I had sausage, and I had eggs.
Sausage and eggs. Ribs, sausage and eggs. That's what he had for breakfast.
That was breakfast.
And then you come home in the evening, okay,
Yeah.
sit down in the garage, have a couple beers. Then you
Oh,
come in, and then you
absolutely, I
have
do
your
that.
pre-dinner dinner.
Pre-dinner. You always have a pre-dinner dinner just to warm yourself up and get everything stretched out.
And
before
usually
you
that's
actually
what,
have your dinner.
some leftover, whatever you have in there, pizza, hamburgers.
Whatever it could be. It
Then
could be-
9, 10 o'clock, then you say, hey, time for dinner.
I'm definitely a late eater. I will say that because, just a couple nights ago, I made spaghetti and meatballs, and that was about 10:30, something like that.
Good night. If I ate that before I went to bed, I would wake up with the worst heartburn
That's
ever.
what I mean. I don't even have
Yeah.
heartburn, man.
Josh Jenkins says that deviled eggs are the bomb.
Oh, Josh Jenkins, come on.
He's right. Listen, deviled eggs, put a little vinegar in there. a
Listen,
little
you know what?
paprika
I'm not
on
going
top.
to. I'm not going to support Satan. I am not going to support Satan in any way. You take your deviled eggs and you take your hello and you just get the hell out of here because I'm not going to stand for it.
Deviled eggs. How
I
about
want- I want
hobo
angel-
beans? You ever eat hobo
I want
beans?
angel eggs.
Hobo
I want
beans.
angel eggs and heaven
Yeah.
knows. That's what I want.
Heaven knows. Hobo beans. You know, you got all your beans, and you got some ground beef in there, and you cook it all together
Whatever.
all day long, and you got your.
Oh,
my
man.
God, it's so good.
Woo woo! Should we play some Boxcar Willie for when you go hiking down the railroad tracks?
Jimmy, was he?
You know what?
He always makes fun of me. Oh, I can see you down there on the railroad tracks with your little stick and your little bandana on the back, holding all your possessions.
Playing your harmonica.
Playing your harmonica, eating your hobo beans and your deviled eggs and your potato salad. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. It's
I was going to make you my pen ran. I was going to make you a "We'll work for food" sign.
yeah.
Hobo.
You're just missing out. We have to get Mama Rogan on here because I got a sneaky suspicion that maybe you're not telling the whole truth.
Oh no. Okay. Listen, she'll absolutely tell you. One thing I've never had is macaroni and cheese, and one time that I think she even tried to make that, Dad slapped the spoon right out of her hand, thinking there is no way we're going to eat that.
Macaroni. How about you listen to this, Jimmy? Have you ever done this? It makes a big old batch of like homemade macaroni and cheese. You know, cut some wieners up, put some wieners in there.
I don't like to call them wieners, but
Okay, Oscar Mayer hot dogs. Right? You've had that, right? Absolutely,
yeah,
you have.
It's been years.
Well,
since
that's
I've
what I
had
mean. Maybe, but you still did. My mom used to have this thing called a Girl Scout special, and it was like,
Oh, I like to have that.
it. I bet you would.
Did she
you
dress
know,
up
for
and have that
potatoes
little,
and
little
corn
bandana
and
thing on?
sausage, like ground sausage, and you cook it all together.
It's
and
not when they dress like a Girl Scout and cook. It's actually a meal.
No, yeah. She didn't dress up like a Girl Scout.
Listen, I'm going to go to like the parkette and say, I'd like to have the Girl Scout special, please. Listen, they might send me to jail. Jimmy might bust out of the daggone door and send me straight to jail for saying
You
something
know
like
what?
that.
I think your problem is you were you had that silver spoon in your mouth for
There's
so
no
long
silver
growing up
spoon, man.
that you never had anything good.
My name is not Kenny
It's
Schroeder.
all good.
Or
When the
Ricky
zombies
Schroeder.
comes, what are you going to eat? What are you going to eat?
When the zombies come,
Yep.
I'm going to eat people. I'm not going to waste my time on
Well,
macaroni
that's saying
and
that
cheese.
you're
I'm going
gonna
to
be a
eat people.
zombie.
Yeah, you'll be a zombie.
Listen, I'm gonna first of
gonna
all, I'm gonna
pop
come
you
up
right
and,
in the head like that.
shit, man. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have you guys. Because you're gonna have all your guns and stuff, and I'm just gonna like say, hey, listen, you guys want a Slim Jim? And you'll be like, yeah, because I'll say, hey, listen, let's go make some macaroni and cheese, and you guys will run in there for some stovetop stuffing or whatever you people eat. And as you're on the stove and stuff, I'm just gonna pop you right in the back of the head. I'm gonna take all your guns, and I'm gonna get my machete out because everybody knows when you're in a zombie apocalypse,
have
you
a
have some
machete.
kind of a machete.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna chop you up, and then Jimmy could be pork loin. And Todd, you could be some kind of chicken wings or something.
Yep.
And I'm going to eat like a king.
I'll pork loin you.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a loin right in your pork.
Gosh.
You drink RC? You like RC Cola? Franny wants to know if you like RC
Oh,
Cola.
Franny, you know that.
There's nothing wrong with RC Cola.
RC Cola is the best. I'd actually like to have some right now.
Well, I brought you a present tonight.
Yes, you did. Todd brought down some Crown Royal.
yeah,
The only problem is I don't have any RC to mix it with.
Well, we'll fix you right up, buddy.
Listen, who's home? Is Emily home?
Emily is home.
And I know Franny has some over at the house.
Oh yeah, she does.
I guarantee she does.
No, I'm not gonna have you. No, I'll bring you some tomorrow.
Franny, call over at the house.
I'll bring you some tomorrow, Chuck.
Have Emily bring down some Rotten Crotch Cola, and I'm going to mix it with some Crown Royal.
Do you want a
Want to
delivery?
deliver?
No, we don't
Yes!
want a
Yes!
delivery. No,
Yes!
he doesn't
Yes!
want a
Yes!
delivery.
Vic,
Yes.
if you're bringing it, then yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Don't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Don't
You
tell
know,
me.
really,
Romney.
if Vic used to deliver it on the second part of the segment, she could sit right here and talk. It would still be a back, right?
No.
Hey, listen, it's
It'll
her
be the
birthday on
same.
Wednesday, buddy.
No. And
We could sing her happy birthday.
Happy
It's
birthday.
It's just so funny. I wasn't even going to mention
to
this.
you.
This is listen, man. You can quit your PDA stuff because let me tell you something. Jimmy and I both went out shopping today, and we didn't tell you this. Vicky, this is for you. We don't care about Todd.
Yeah.
But this is for you. This is for you. Basically, we went out and bought birthday suits for you today.
Oh, let me see them. Both of you now.
We can't. Not until Vicky gets here. We're not going to ruin the
Look,
surprise.
she says she hasn't had a shower yet. That's okay, because you'll need one when you go back.
Josh says you like rotten crotch cola. Josh thinks that's called rotten crotch
It is.
cola.
Crotch cola.
That's what everybody
RC,
says.
rotten crotch.
You got-
Yeah, that's what everybody calls
You got like
it.
pizza slut, rotten crotch. I mean, there's all
Pizza
kinds of different
slut?
names. That's what you never called Pizza Hut Pizza Hut? Oh, come on.
No.
Oh, man.
that.
Maybe it's just a Shinston thing.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Gosh. Guy's a weird over in Shinston.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Marcy says, happy birthday, Vicky. Her birthday's not till Wednesday. Stop pumping her up. It's not birthday week. It's not birthday month. She's got one day, Wednesday.
That's February 3rd, right?
Yeah, I took that day off.
That is actually the same day as Tina E. falls at work. That's the day after Groundhog Day.
It is the day of
We need to incorporate on the break. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to take a break. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to take a break. It's going to be like 5 minutes, and we'll come back because I think the thing's showing us that we're almost up anyway. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about Groundhog Day because I forgot about that, and we're going to make a prediction of if Punxsutawney Phil or French Creek Freddy is going to see a shadow and have an early spring for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Rogan Radio. Thanks for that. We're going to be live
It'll
right
go
back
out
here
for
on the
a second?
Facebook. Yeah, go ahead and stop that thing.
All right.
Boink.
In the meantime, we're going to give you some X-Files music
I don't think
just until we go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
Yeah, we are back.
We are back, and you're watching Rogan Radio.
Absolutely,
Yes.
you are.
I believe we are, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, we are
like that.
watching Rogan Radio.
We are back, and
Close to you.
Ooh, I like it when you get close.
it's funny because with this, since this is live and everything like that, the hardest part is actually getting everything set, because there's like you have to hit start, and then we have to go and we have to hurry up and hit start on everything. It's driving
You know
me crazy.
what? You know what I think we need? I think we need some people to come here and just be behind the scenes. Like they could start that stuff and stop it and
Yeah,
whatever else.
absolutely. That's what we need. We need interns. We need interns.
I think we have an intern. Do we have an intern? I don't know. Do we have an intern? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if we do or not. So anyway, once again, you're listening to Rogan Radio, and one thing we would like for you to do is never forget the fact that you can call or text our hotline, 681-222-ROGN. That's the number, 681-222-ROGN.
We encourage your calls, please.
Now, you know, this is what's going to be kind of different about this is that since we are broadcasting these things now on the Facebook, you know, we have live interaction. So we have those comments as we do things and all that, of course. But we also would like to take those like the voicemails and stuff like that, because a lot of people don't have Facebook, and that's why we have the YouTube channel. And don't forget about the audio part of the podcast, which is becoming fantastic, by the way, on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. It just sounds fantastic, especially if you're on the SoundCloud or iTunes. It just sounds great. So go ahead and subscribe to that. Search for Rogan Radio, and that's how that's going to be. But one thing that we didn't do last week, I'm kind of upset about that. We didn't have a quote of the week.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
So let's go ahead and have our quote of the week.
Here's the quote of the week. Okay, you ready for this?
Well, wait a minute.
Nope.
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay. Sweet.
The quote of the
Jimmer.
week.
Okay, here's the quote of the week. You ready, Jimmy?
I'm ready for the quote.
Okay, the quote of the week is this: Men are a lot like infants. If you want them to shut up, put your boobs in their mouth.
Nice.
Ah!
Nice. See, I'm
That is
telling you
a
what.
quote of the
You know
week.
what? How true is that, though? How
No,
true
it
is that?
is. You want a man to shut up? Just show him your boobs.
Exactly. Or put them in your mouth.
Or do that. Whatever you want to do.
Let's see if it works. Hold on.
Let me see. Where are you going? No, I don't.
I'm going to show you my boobs.
I don't
man.
want to see your, not your boots. Not your boots, bro. Your boobs.
Let's see. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Show me your boobs. Here we go.
Give me porno music.
Yeah, you got some good.
I'm going to do this when we get to porno
yeah,
music
here
on.
we go.
And I'm not sure what's funny is you have Darth Vader's lightsaber right there. It's that big red stick that you'll see in there.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Okay, everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, now listen. Here we go. You got to do this real slow. Yeah, that's it. Come on. Here we go. Pull it up.
You know, is this
Look at
music
that.
you've been playing on the Facebook?
Let me get some Lynn out of there. Okay.
It's actually kind of gross.
Put your shirt back on, you hairy
You can
bastard.
actually see my underwear on there. That's disgusting. And I'm
At least you're
wearing,
wearing them.
yeah, I am wearing them. That's kind of sad. Anyway, we had a call out just a little while ago in the last segment for some Royal Crown Cola.
Yeah. So he can mix with his Royal Canadian Mist.
We did. Too bad we don't have it. I
Royal
wish
Canadian Mist. Is that
wish
like
we had Royal?
It's like a cross between Royal Crown Royal and Canadian Mist.
Is that like
Royal Canadian Mist?
Okay. And guess what?
I wish we had some RC.
You clap your hands. You clap your hands, and guess what happens?
It's
This is what
here.
happens. On Rogan Radio, you just go.
Okay,
Check
here we
this
go.
out. Look what we have tonight. We
Come on
have
in
Emily
here.
back.
Oh, Emmy, hold on. Hey, let me let her sit down here for a second.
Yeah.
Okay? Hold on. No. This is good stuff. Hold on for a second.
Yeah, you got to do that. Your sister did that. Caitlin did that. So now it's going to be your turn to go ahead and say hi to everybody. And you brought some Royal Crown Cola.
There you go. Your
Thanks,
headset.
Franny. Did you get this from Franny?
Yeah.
How about that?
Bomb,
How about that? Now listen, here's the question I want to know, because one thing that drives me crazy, Emily, is sounds. Mesophilionia, or whatever they call that. What do they call that?
I don't know.
When they,
I don't know.
you have it, though. When-
Right. It's too close to my face.
see? When you have those sounds, like Jimmy eating and like making noise, like chomping on gum. I jump his ass all the time for that. It'll drive you insane, will it not?
It will.
It just drives you crazy.
I love
But
it.
hey, listen, what do you think? You're on the podcast. The nice
Hey, look.
the nice thing about it is there's only about
Marcy
worldwide.
says she loves the hair, Emily.
The nice thing about it is I don't want to scare you or anything, but we're up to about 20,000 people per podcast now, and so 20,000 people are going to see that you brought Step Uncle Chuck some Royal Crown Cola. Thanks, Franny. Thank you.
There.
Now you just have
She's like,
I was trying to watch Netflix and eat chicken.
what were you watching on Netflix?
Z Nation.
Z Nation.
wait a minute,
Is
that's
that
a good
something-
show, but why weren't you watching your father's show?
What show?
This show!
Oh,
Yeah. Why, man? Okay.
it was playing in the kitchen, but I wasn't interested.
Oh, ouch!
Well, that's just great.
Hear that, Todd? You're not interesting.
Well, you know what? Why don't you go back to eat chicken and watch your Z Nation or whatever the hell you're doing up? You're not eating like hobo beans, are you? Do you like macaroni and cheese by chance?
Yeah.
Come on,
See?
Emily. What do you? Okay, how about this? Do you like when your dad eats, like say when he eats, and he not only eats the food on the plate, but he eats his like utensils, where you can hear him like scraping his teeth on his forks and stuff
Do
like
you
that.
do that?
Oh, he most certainly does. You should see. Have you ever seen him eat an ice cream cone?
No, I don't. I don't stick around long enough.
No,
for
you
that.
don't. That's good. God bless you. But Emily, thanks for coming down. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Am I done here?
Look, she's ready to go. She's like, yeah, I want to get out of here.
Get back to Netflix.
Bye. I'm going to go watch
Here,
Z
give me a hug.
Nation.
I don't ever get to see you.
XYZ Nation.
I never get to see you. Thanks for coming down. Oh, that's nice.
All right, the clock is ticking. Let's go,
That was one of the
Todd.
Beck ladies. She's gone. She brought down some Royal Crown Cola. That's fantastic. See, I'm glad you have daughters like that.
That ask and you
but
shall
I got
receive.
good daughters. I got 3 of them, as a matter of fact. That's just that's the baby right there. She's my little.
That
tiny
is
baby.
fantastic. But listen,
She's like your little
Little
Haley. She's just so
the
cute.
cool thing about it, though, listen, this is the great thing about it, and let's talk about this right now, because Emily being down here, we share the same kind of thing with our ears, is that
Yeah.
there's sounds that just drive us crazy.
She
People
can't-
gum chomping and shit like that, cracking on gum, just makes you want to.
Hey, we all
instantly
have
want to kill
pet
me
peeves,
somebody.
right? We all got pet peeves.
Listen,
Pet peeves.
can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so we're on the workroom floor one day at the post office, right? And now you got to remember the workroom floor is like 30,000 square feet of just empty space and
It's big.
machines and all that. And I'm walking through there. It's the end of the day, and I'm chomping on me some chewing gum, chomp, chomp, chomp. And I don't think I'm chomping that loud because I try to, especially living with this kid right here. I'm very conscious about how I eat or drink
Oh, you have
or
to be.
sip or anything because it drives her crazy, kind of like it does you.
Yeah, it most definitely does.
And I'm chewing on this gum, and I'm just, and then all of a sudden, Rogan's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm chewing gum, dude. He said, "You're chomping." So I said,
yeah.
"You know what? Fine." So I balled that gum up like this, and I spit it right on the floor, tooey, like that. And I said, "There you go. I'm done chomping." So what's he do? What do you think he does? He walks right over. He bends right down. He picks that gum off the floor, and he puts he puts it right in his mouth and starts chewing.
But
You gotta be
I chewed it
kidding
with my
me.
mouth closed.
Yeah, he did
I
chew
chewed
it
it
with his
with my
mouth
mouth.
closed.
Hey,
Good for
listen
you.
though, we're talking about pet peeves.
Yucky.
Let's have a top 10 list of our top 10 pet peeves.
And it's not going to be top 10 like our top 10. We want to get your
wanna do that?
feedback. Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Start throwing your top 10 or your pet peeves.
Listen,
at us.
if you have
That's
a pet
what-
peeve, we want to know about it. We're going to make a top 10 list right now, and the number one, the best one wins absolutely nothing.
Oh.
How about that?
Hey,
Is
listen.
that pretty cool?
Maybe the best
There you go.
Maybe the best one could win
$100.
$100.
Yeah, but listen,
$100 gift card.
$100 gift card.
Listen, we haven't given $100 away tonight. Maybe tonight will be the night here on Rogan Radio. Once again, don't forget to call us 681-222-ROG, and I'm going to start it out. This isn't going to be number 10. I want to tell you exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to pet peeves.
Okay, go ahead.
Why is it? And this is going to be more of a physics question than anything. You have 2 cars, okay?
Yeah. Okay, here
Well,
you go.
let's start out with 1 car. This is going to be one. This cell phone is going to represent me in my car.
Okay.
I'm driving down the road, and I'm going 25 miles an hour, which is the speed limit.
Yeah, in a lot of places.
Listen, man,
Residential,
if
25.
Listen, I'm driving. I'm the only car on the road. 25 is absolutely fast enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't bug me at all.
Nah.
Okay, so why is it, this is where the physics come in, you add in the variable of car number 2. Car number 2 is going 25 miles an hour in front of Chuck, who's also going 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, when this car wasn't present, Chuck was absolutely fine going 25 miles an hour. But now that Chuck is following somebody going 25 miles an hour, Chuck wants to get out and go up and beat the shit out of this person driving his car because it's way too slow.
Yeah, I know.
What kind of physics
I
problem is
always
that?
seem to get behind the slowest person.
Or almost in reverse, when you're going 25 mile an hour down like a 25 mile an hour residential zone, and you're going 25 miles an hour at the posted speed limit, and then someone gets right on your ass, then you kind of feel like, oh, you got to speed up. You ever do that? You're like, why? I'm going too slow because they're right on my ass because they don't want to go 25 miles an hour.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a parade? I call it a parade when you're following somebody like going to work.
Yeah.
And there's one car up there going 10 miles an hour below the speed limit. They have 15 cars behind them, and they just, for whatever reason, don't look in the rearview mirror. This happens to me all the time.
Because they would know they're going too slow.
Yeah.
Why don't they just pull off the side of the road? I don't know. But every time, here's what I do. When I get up to the Ford lane in Meadowbrook, because I take Meadowbrook Road to work,
Right.
and I get up to the Ford lane where they put up there, where like Pete Dye Golf Course, but I always drive right beside them, and I match speed with them, and I look at them to see who the dumbass is that's driving, and I'll look over and I'll be like,
What the hell's wrong with you? And you drive right on
and I
past
give
them.
them some stupid look, and I keep on driving.
I was going same road on to work the other day, and I was in a line. And I counted them because I looked in my rearview mirror. There were 12 cars in the line,
Jesus
and
Christ.
one guy up there going into 45, and he was going about 30 miles an hour. And I counted 1, 2, 3. I was 4, and I counted behind me.
Jimmy, do we have any pet peeves off the Facebook?
Yeah. Like, this is one I like too. Is Marcy says, can't leave the volume levels on an odd number, like the volume on the TV or radio.
It can't
She's
be
weird
on
with
an
her
odd
numbers.
Number, like 11
like,
or
11 or
13.
yeah.
Listen, that sounds like a
Like,
no
I don't put my radio on 13 for some reason. It's just a superstition, I guess. I don't know. It's
No, but
weird.
if you put it
I
on
know it's
17,
dumb.
if you put it on 17, it has to go to 18 or it has to go to 16. Can't be an odd number.
Weird.
No, it has to, if it's on 17, it has to go to 19
Vicky
or
says
15.
she doesn't like when people don't push their chair in when they get up from the table.
Yeah, that's good. So that's number 8. Who's got number 7? I want to know a pet peeve.
Well, this really wouldn't fall into our number, but I really hate when people are on their cell phone talking, and it makes them. I guess it falls in line with the one you're saying because they'll drive like 10 or 15 miles an hour under the speed limit,
Right.
and they're on their cell phone. Now, I guess they don't realize that it is against the law in West Virginia to talk on your cell phone that's not hands free.
Yeah.
It's actually a $100 fine. I know several people that actually got pulled over for it. so-
Really? Somebody actually got pulled over for that?
Oh yeah.
You know what else is a $100 fine? I learned this on the radio the other day. If you sit, I was getting ready for work or something, but they had a state police guy on there, and they said if you leave your car, like a lot of people go out to start their car in the morning to warm it up.
Right, especially in the wintertime here now.
If they see your car sitting there warming up unattended, it's actually a $100 fine.
Well, but you don't have control.
That's dumb.
You don't have control of your car if you're not in it and it's running.
No, I understand that's their point. But if you're in your driveway, it's private property. How can they come and tell you can't? Now maybe if they're talking about like but who the hell would leave their car warming up?
I need a number
downtown?
7. Who's giving me a number 7 on the Facebook? I need to know pet peeves, and I want to know what kind of weirdos you people
Let's
are.
see.
Because I don't know about that.
How about a pet peeve of when people go out to a buffet? You're at a buffet.
People
Say-
who eat with their mouth open.
Gosh, you said that because that's true.
Becky Wade.
Becky Wade, you are not lying about that. Praise Jesus.
You know
on
why
that.
they
You
don't
know
eat
what?
with their? You know why they chomp with their mouth open like that? Because they got shitty parents that didn't teach them to close your damn
No
mouth when you're
joke.
eating.
Donnie says people using words in the wrong context, like hot water heater and unthaw.
Thaw?
How about when what's the word I like to use all the time? I send them what's the word I use with texts? I send them some texts. Is that the word I use? I use a word.
No, you say texted.
Yeah, I texted somebody.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I don't
texted-
think there's
and
an
Todd
ED on the end of
Texted.
texted.
Todd busts me all the time.
Well,
I would
say
singing
that.
it.
I would
Say I texted him last night.
Yeah, I say that
Instead
too.
of
though.
I sent him a text.
No, I don't like that.
Must be just Todd.
Oh,
Robbie
Obviously weird
Faber said talking on a cell phone, listen on a speaker while you're in a restaurant.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that's what's weird about Bluetooth is like when you see people coming down, like in a grocery store or something like that, and they're talking out loud. Like, say, I do it when we're on the mail route,
Oh yeah.
and I have these earplugs in, and I don't realize how loud I'm talking to somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll get you
But
in
then when
trouble
you're
sometime.
walking down and you hear like, "Excuse me, what?" And especially if somebody's fighting with their woman, and he says, "You bitch!" And you're like, what? And you're like, oh, you're talking on your little like Geordie device off of Star Trek.
I saw there was a commercial like that on where the guy was getting some. I think it was a beer commercial. He was getting beer out of the freezer, and a really hot girl came up behind him and was like, I've been meaning to. She starts talking, and it sounds like she's talking to him, and he gets up and it says, "Oh, hey," like this, and she like has the thing in her ear, and she's like, got some weird ass trying to talk to me.
Brian Morton doesn't like it when people are in a like in a doctor's office and they're talking about their ailments so loud that the whole room can hear them. But most of the time, it's information that nobody wants to hear.
Yeah.
But they're just blah 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 blah. I got this thing.
That's a good one right there too.
Wayne Rideout says, "I know his pet peeve is I know where I leave my stuff. My wife puts it away. Where is this away? Because I left it right here."
You know what? That's one thing crazy about a guy. By the way, talking about Brian Morton, he's going to be on the show next week. I think I told you guys
We
that.
welcome you, Mr. Morton.
Brian, we're going to have a good time. It's been a long time, and it's going to be a great time. But this is hilarious. Everything in my house has a home, right? There's a place, and if it's not in that place, it's out of place, right?
Yeah.
And what's hilarious is I'll put the keys down, I'll put the wallet down. It could be, listen, my wallet goes in a certain place every single time. Right now, I could bring it into the bathroom, and it would take me 3 days to find it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I'm like fixated. I know it's supposed to be right here. Where is my wallet? Can't tell you how many.
That's
times
why
I've
you
done
need
that.
a wife, buddy. Because when I come in and I say, "Honey," I said,
that's
"Where's?"
what I need.
Or just
like
a few concubines.
Yeah.
Or servants.
Listen, concubines, isn't that what they do at football when they have the guys run all that stuff?
I don't know what a concubine is. What's a concubine?
Be like a servant. Female servant.
Oh, I
now
see.
see, I
Slave,
like that.
female slave.
Oh, I could call my wife my concubine.
Listen, I could call you
Oh,
my
yeah.
cockybine too, dude.
I
Whatever.
can call, me and Chuck could call your wife our concubine too.
Shut your mouth! Shut your mouth! I'll hit you with both fists.
Happy birthday, Vicky.
But you know what? When I'm at home and if I lose something, I say, "Honey, where's my?" And boom, she knows right where it is every.
You mean like my
single
lottery
freaking
tickets?
time. No, we found your lottery.
So basically, Vicky controls you, is what you're saying.
Yes, she does.
Listen, I would like to have a couple chicks in here dressed up like as like those Egyptian kind of queens or something
Doing
like that.
belly
There's-
dancing?
Oh, not so much even that, but they have those like Cleopatra outfits.
Oh.
And they can walk around here with like big feathers, and everywhere I walk, they could just
fan
like
you?
feather me. And if
could
I say,
fan-
and I say,
feather
wow,
you.
and
They
I say,
could
man,
fan
I'm
you.
hot.
They go like, the
Yeah,
fan.
and they would put their hands in water and they would rub it all over me, saying, "Oh, Chuck, are you cool down now?" I'd be like, "Yes, yes, I most certainly am."
Jimmy and I can do that for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy can do
belly
that for you.
dancing. And,
Chuck just did some belly dancing.
yeah, you did.
All right, we're looking. We need two more. In the winner, the top one is going to win absolutely nothing except gloss. Who's the next one? Any more pet peeves in there?
Oh, no.
What's Mark Coffey have to say?
Mark Coffey says, I don't want to say what Mark Coffey
Oh,
says.
he must be talking about. He must be talking about something personal.
Look at Sharon Rubensham says, guys who try and impress their girlfriends at football games with their knowledge, and they have no clue what they're talking about, and you have to listen to it.
Yeah, you know what, isn't it? How many times have we talked about this, Chuck? When you go to the Lincoln football game,
We'll
and God
just
bless them.
say high school football games, and not necessarily
Okay, yeah, we'll
it's
say
high school.
You
in
know what?
general.
It's funny because you got the same guys, and they're always standing down there by the end zone. And it's the same guys that played high school or football in high school, and they're all
never moved on.
They never moved on. You know what? Good for them.
Remember
I
that
never.
game? I had like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, you remember that? I got 150 yards that game. You remember that? It was a glorious day. It was a glorious. Yeah, but
That's gonna make me pee my pants. Pee my pants. I remember that time Jeremy Duckworth, he's part of the show. He's on every now and then. He was an all-star catcher, by the way, for Grafton High School. He played a lot of baseball, and I think he even said that Bill Shriver was his coach. But
He was.
one of the best stories I've ever heard that Jeremy was ever. They were in a state championship, and I guess he graduated in 2000, so this had to be somewhere between 96 and 2000. But Jeremy turned out to be this all-star catcher, right? And they're in this state championship game, Grafton Bearcats. All right,
They went to the States.
they were in the state champion. Maybe even like the Little League World Nation Champion Series thing that they do. I don't know, but it was the top game of the year, whatever they call that. So Jeremy was the catcher, I said, and it was let me guess. Well, I can't remember if it was the top or bottom of the ninth. I think it must have been the top of the ninth. No, it was the bottom. It was absolutely the bottom because the game was tied 3-3, 2 outs, whatever.
Okay.
Dude hits the ball. So the guy's running around the bases, and whoever's fielding the ball's flying out all over the place. But anyway, somehow it just so happens that it ends up to where the winning run is coming right at Jeremy. It's coming right at Jeremy, and the ball's coming at Jeremy, so Jeremy can get the out so they can go into extra innings.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
This ball comes in here, and right as Jeremy's going to catch this ball and tag this guy out at home plate, the guy just knocks him right on his ass, and Jeremy doesn't remember anything, just flattened his ass. Just knocked him right out. Knocked him out.
So he was too focused on balls.
You know what? I don't know. But that was the greatest story Jeremy ever said. That was his claim to fame. He got
20
flattened
years
at home
later, he
plate
still is.
at the Little League World Series Boy Scouts Jamboree. Something like that.
Hey, listen,
And
real
he's
quick.
a mailman.
Amanda Lindsay, one of her pet peeves is drinking a cold drink, like ice water or iced tea or
Here
something,
it comes.
out of a coffee mug.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, on that, who said that?
Amanda Lindsay
Lindsay.
said that.
Okay, Amanda. Amanda Hug and Kiss. Get that? That's a Simpsons joke. Listen, how about this? And my dad's really bad about this. How about this? You get a cup of coffee, right? You get a cup of coffee, and then you drink this coffee. But it's so hot that you have to slurp it, a lot like soup. If it's so hot, my theory is if it is so hot that you have to slurp it, don't drink it or don't put it in your mouth.
I know.
Wait till it cools down.
I know.
Don't sit there and do one of these deals.
Let's see what we got. Yeah.
Why do that? Don't do
Dude,
it.
my kids do it all the time, especially with a straw at the end. They're like,
Yeah. You know, listen, here's one of my pet peeves. We were sitting at school waiting to pick Emily up from ball practice, and I had Caitlin in the car with me, and she had a drink from McDonald's. And, of course, the drink's all gone, but now she's down to the ice. So what do you think she's doing now?
chomping on the
She's
ice.
chomping on the
that's gonna drive
freaking
you crazy
ice.
too, right
She'd
there.
tip that thing over and she'd shake it, like she can't, like the ice won't just fall out. And then she sets it down and she starts chomping like that. And listen, I sat there as long as I could. And then finally she went to tip that thing up again, and she set that drink down. I rolled that window down. I grabbed that cup and I slung all that ice right out the window. And I set that cup right back in the cup holder. I said, I can't do that shit. You're driving me freaking crazy. But that's one of my little pet
We
peeves.
have an update
Ice
here
chomp.
from the youngest of the brunch, Christian. We have an Instagram channel, so look for Rogan Radio on Instagram. He's actually starting a retro game over there, so you may want to check that out. I think he's giving away $1,000 tonight on the Instagram.
$1,000
Listen,
care of. Dad wasn't.
Oh no, he
Thank
saves
goodness.
his own money.
thank goodness.
Yeah, hope
Good
he's got
job,
$1,000
Christian. You're
saved
doing a
up.
great job over
Christian's
there.
giving away a $100
$1,000.
Wes Thomas, listen, now this is kind of serious too. Wes Thomas, he asked me, because we talked about a couple months ago, we've had this thing with the app going to come out. And the reason the app hasn't came out, we found sort of a bug with it, or I found a bug with it, is that when you play the podcast on it,
Sends it all to China.
it sends it on to China. But
What?
because when you have to put your credit card number in and your monthly subscription fee at $30, no, there's nothing like that. But what happens is, it's like, say if when you play the podcast and your phone goes into lock mode or shuts off or whatever, then the podcast dies instead of it continues to play. So I was like, well, we can't release that, because if somebody wants to listen to the podcast, they shouldn't, especially since they're like an hour long now, they don't need to keep their damn phone on all the time. Because that drives me crazy. I wouldn't do
Yeah.
that. So we need to figure out.
So it leaves a screen on?
No, it doesn't leave the screen on. Once the screen, yeah, exactly. Once the screen goes black, then so does the podcast. It dies out too. So, do we have any more? Any more?
I don't know.
One more.
Mark Coffey said that Brian Morton is the only cop that would pull over a fire engine after midnight and ask, "Where are you going?"
Brian Morton did not do that when he was in
That's what
Lumberport.
Mark Coffey said. That Brian
Brian
Morton
Morton?
absolutely did that. Brian Morton said,
Responding
"No.
to, It wasn't after midnight.
Yeah, he said it wasn't.
Oh, Brian Morton, this is going to be something we need to talk about next week. This is going to be a great story. Listen, if we could get Mark Coffey on the phone. So Brian, when he was copping Lumberport, pulled over a fire truck. I hope it had its lights on and stuff.
I hope it did.
Because listen, Brian, listen, man.
Yes,
Brian,
I did.
Yes,
he
he
said.
did. Yeah,
I
did.
can't wait, Brian. I can't wait to hear this story. It's going to be fantastic, man.
Was that Brian? I don't understand why he pulled the car. Why did he pull?
Hey,
a
listen,
fire
maybe they were
engine
speeding,
over?
dude. Listen, if you don't have your lights
Shinston,
on.
PD.
No, he was Lumberport or Shinston?
He said Shinston.
Brian, I didn't know you were in Shinston.
Oh, now you do. So that's why we got Brian on next week, so he can clear up all this fuzz and fall.
You know what? Maybe we could have Brian, and we could have Mark in here, and we could have some arm wrestling.
You know what? That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
we'll have Mark dressed up as a fireman, Brian dressed up as a policeman. I'll dress up as the Indian. You can be the construction guy, and Jimmy can be the Egyptian chick.
Why don't we have
I Dream of
YMCA
Jeannie.
queued up? Who doesn't have YMCA queued up?
I
Why
could
you
be
should-
I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, Brian was in Shinston before he was in Lumberport.
Oh,
so.
see, I remember. I don't remember that, but I do remember when Brian and Chad were in town here. So that's fantastic. Well, yeah,
See,
I
that
can't
was
wait to hear
that
this
had to
story.
have been years ago, right?
Oh, it's a long time ago.
Because I don't even remember when Chad was in Lumberport. That had to have been, how many years ago was that?
Oh man, it's been forever ago.
10, 15 years, something like that?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
you had
probably,
Cajun
yeah.
back then,
We
right?
had
You said-
Cajun, yeah, because I can remember the day that Cajun died. Chad and Brian came around the block, and we talked about it at the end of the driveway
So when
there.
when Cajun died, you guys had like a little procession, and they did the fire whistles
listen,
and the
no.
police cars, and you guys went all the way to
Listen,
the
man, you
funeral?
know what? You're just lucky Brian's not a cop anymore because, he'd be pulling your ass over and sending you to jail.
Yeah, well, I got some connections too. man.
Yeah,
Wayne
my
said
ass.
when he was delivering papers, he'd get pulled over either on his way in or way home.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for
Shipe
pulling
says he
Wayne
needs-
over.
Shipe said he needs to arrest us three.
Shut up, Shipe. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Shipe.
What's Shipe's one of Shipe's pet peeves?
What is one of Shipe's
Just
pet
being
peeves?
Shipe. I
That
guess.
could
I
be
don't
very
know.
well be
He
that.
doesn't
I don't
say.
know.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
Brian said it was probably right around 2001.
Yeah, it had to be right in there somewhere.
Wait a minute. What year did we start what year did we start gaming in the garage?
Brian
It
was.
was about 2001.
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't. We didn't have any. No, because I tell you, it wasn't Brian that came down to the house, and I'll tell you why. Because Brian, instead of busting our balls, would have came in and played with us for one.
yeah,
That's for
probably
one.
would've.
And two, it was this must have been right after Brian and Chad split, and there was that lapse when the counties were patrolling Lumberport, because I think both counties, we didn't have a city cop come to the house. It was a county, then a county and a state, right?
I can't remember. Dude.
I just
They
know
all
they
look
came out a
alike.
couple times.
They all look alike, Chuck.
I just remember them busting on the glass there.
Shine their flashlight.
We talked
on
about
you.
that last week when we used to play, have the game night out in the garage.
Shipe said his pet peeve is not being able to get this last hour back. Ass.
Come on, Shipe.
That's not very
Well, just
nice,
for that,
Shipe.
you win absolutely nothing, Shipe.
You win nothing.
Very
A-hole.
good. All right, man. So you know what? Listen, this has been one of those podcasts to where once again we are we're just experimenting with things. We're kind of feeling our own. And I'll be quite honest with you, it's almost like euphoric because as much as I'm trying to stay focused, at the same time I'm very cloudy in my brain. It's a lot easier when you're not live.
Yeah.
You
know
don't
what I
think
mean?
the Canadian mist has anything to do with your fog?
The
does it?
Canadian mist, it could be a Canadian fog. I don't know. And you know what? That's something else.
Maybe it's because you can edit some things Todd says, but then and then post it where now you're like, oh my gosh, what's
That's
he
what I
gonna say?
mean.
And can't
Have you
edit it.
noticed since we've started going live now, we're kind of not cussing as much. We're not playing with the stress peckers as much.
That's bullshit, Rogan.
Now it is. But there we go. We're back in action.
That's bullshit, Rogan.
But I'll tell you something else. And now listen, Brian's going to be here next week. And one thing that I do want to talk about, and I wanted to talk about it last week when the snow came, but I forgot totally about it. I want to invade Canada. We invaded, the United States invaded Iraq, Afghanistan, numerous countries around the world for the shit that they pull on us all the time. We just go and we beat their ass. Well, I tell you what, last week, Canada pulled a fast one on us.
What'd they do, man?
They sent all that damn cold air down here, which caused my gas bill to go up and a lot of snow to land on my house. So I say we all get our weapons, our tanks, our AC-10s or A-10s or whatever, and we go up there and whoop the Canadians' ass. You keep your old, you know what? If we want Mexico to keep all their people down there across the border, I say we build a wall or put big fans on the border to blow all that shit. Blow all that stuff back to Canada. We don't want the cold air. We don't want the Mexicans.
Fans
right?
on the border.
We don't
Fans
want the
on the
cold.
border.
We
That's
don't
my
want.
new thing.
We don't want the cold air or the Mexicans.
Listen, I don't mind the Mexicans because I like Mexican food, and you know what? We can actually hire a lot of people to come up and build these fans.
You mean to
I have
do
no problem
our
with that.
yard work and stuff like that?
No, I mean I don't care if they pay taxes. I don't care what they do. If they
This
want to
shit
come
is-
in, they could live right. They could live in my house if they want to pay it.
This shit's getting racist.
There's nothing racist about it. I have no problem with that. But you know what? I
You
do
think
have a problem-
everybody should know one?
Listen, now that is. But I'll tell you this.
A Canadian.
I'll tell you this though.
Mexican.
I'll tell you this. I do have a problem with Canada. Because them sons of bitches up there sitting in their little snug things with their little igloo shoes on and all that little Eskimo junk. You know what? We need to go up there and build these like big ass fans that they put down here in Preston County. These big turbines. Put about 10,000 of those things on the border to blow all that shit up and keep it up in Canada. That way we could be living like in Bermuda every single day.
Well,
Well,
at least
Lisa-
I like the Mexicans. They build their houses nice.
Why are
and
we
quick.
talking about Mexico? I have no.
I think
I don't know.
they
Talk
need to
about
build a
Mexicans.
great big
I
wall.
like-
Lisa
They
Stricker
build the
said.
house good.
Lisa Stricker said it's going to be 82 there tomorrow.
Can't
She's
get
down there in
people to work.
Florida. It's going to be 82 degrees in
82?
Florida.
I miss being in the South for that.
I don't. I don't like
82
82 is too hot.
82 in February.
Yeah, it's too hot,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
God, I don't like 82 here.
What do you think?
Summer, I don't
Speaking
like
of that,
82.
real quick, and we're going to shut this
Well,
thing
I'm
off.
thinking of that too. Make sure you guys watch the or listen to it or watch it on the YouTube, the after, because it's longer than this and
Yeah,
has other
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah,
The after disaster.
Yeah, because one thing we're doing right now is placating to the live version here on Facebook, and we don't want to do that because we have an international audience, and a lot of people don't follow us. We might have 100 or so. How many are even viewing now? That is a very minute, audience compared to the main audience. So we don't want to do. We're trying to keep track, but that's what I mean. It's kind of hard to do right now because this is all kind of new to us. So
Hey, listen, Donnie's got a thing about cold air, and he's got a thing about cold air, and he's got a thing about nipples.
cold hair
He
nipples.
said cold air is responsible for hard nipples. He said, Chuck, do you really want that on your shoulders? The man responsible for no more hard nipples?
Listen, man,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Listen, you know what?
Dude,
If you
You
guys
want
need-
like
let me
jelly
tell you
bean
something.
sized nipples.
Who the hell said
You
that?
don't want that.
That's kind of like my
Who said
pet
that?
peeve. I
Donnie.
like
Donnie. Let me tell you something, Donnie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, Donnie. See, now this is what...
my pet
we
peeve
were
is
already
not
on.
having hard
Damn
nipples.
it, we quit. We stopped. The Facebook stopped. I knew it was coming because
That's
I saw
all
the
right.
timer
We're
over
still
here. But
being
anyway, we
recorded
only have a
here.
couple more seconds. Here's the problem. We're going to continue this, Donnie, since you're not here anymore. If you need cold air to get your woman's nipples hard, you know what? Don't blame me. Is all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Is
You
all
know
I can
what?
tell
Maybe
you.
you need to Kumasatra. What the hell's the
You know
name
what?
of
All
it?
they have to do, maybe I just need to take a photograph of myself and give it to everybody. But once again, don't forget to listen to us on the iTunes, on Stitcher, on Soundcloud. Just do a search for Rogan Radio. Do the same thing on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, thanks to Christian Wisniewski, go ahead and there search Rogan Radio, become a subscriber, and you can keep up on all the action as it develops. And you know what? We're kind of excited for this.
Are we doing one more segment on Rogan Radio Live?
Listen, do you want to do an extra one? You want to do a fifth quarter?
No.
It's already been an hour. We can do it. We can go.
Well, we're at a tight hour. Let's keep it at a tight
Listen,
hour.
I'll tell you what. We can do another Facebook one, and then I don't know. It's up to you guys.
Well, let's go to a break. Let's talk about it. and
Okay,
then
let's
we'll
do that.
come
We're going to take a quick break.
So if there's any-
maybe
well,
If
I was gonna
this
say-
might be the end. But once again, thanks for listening to Rogan Radio. We'll see you next week, and be sure to call us 681-222-ROGN and be looking for us on if you are on the Facebook next week for a live podcast because we want to get your interaction with it. You're listening to Rogan Radio.